Hello guys, my name is Reyes and I'm currently in the chapter 1. To be precise, it's 1.2.4.5 chapter and the packet tracer network representation. The objective is the network model in the activity incorporates many of the technologies that you will master in your CCNA studies. Represent a simplified version how a small to medium-sized business network might look. Feel free to explore the network on your own. When you are ready, proceed through the following step and answer the question. Then let's try to answer. Then as you can see, these are the topology. It is quite large for a topology. And step 1, identify common components of a network represented in packet tracer. The icon toolbar at the bottom left, as you can see, the bottom left is right here. We have categories components. You should see the categories that correspond to intermediary devices and media. The connection category with the lightning bolt, or this one is the connection, represent the network media supported by packet tracer. There is also an devices category and two categories specified to packet tracer: custom-made devices and multi-user connections. As you can see, there are other stuff that are in here, as said in the step 1A, and list the intermediary devices categories. And as you can see here in the topology, the intermediary devices here are the WRS, wireless router 1, the modem, the switch, the router, and then the wireless AP, the routers, and the multi-layer switch, and another switch. And that's all the intermediaries here: switch, router. And without entering into the internet cloud or intranet cloud, how many icons in the topology represent endpoint devices? Only one connection leading to them. So at first, as you can see, this one with the straight through copper, this is 1, 2. This one have wireless and still only one connection leading to them. Is there are 4 in here. Then 5, the brand server, because as you can see there's just one. Then the laser 6, then 7, 8, 9, 10, and so on for that. And in here the 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So there are 15 end devices or endpoint devices. Then let's proceed to another question. Without counting the two clouds, how many icons topology represent intermediary devices? Without this, I think, how many icons in the topology represent intermediary device? So excluding these two clouds, there would be a 1 and devices, the wireless router, the modem. It's already 2. Then in this topology there are 3, I think, the wireless AP, the switch, and the router. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then excluding these two, there 5s, then 6, 7, both the switch and another 2, the multi-layer switch. It would be 8 and 9. Then the router again 10, and the switch again. So there will be 11 and there would be 11 intermediary devices. Then how many end devices are not desktop computers? So as you can see, the home desktop are just like this one, so this one won't be included. And the server is also an end devices, so it would be we should count that it's 1. Then as you can see, there's an IP phone, laptops and smartphone, printer and servers, so we will exclude the computer, so there will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there are 10 end devices that are not desktop computers. Then how many different types of media connection are used in this network topology? The media connections are like this: the automatically choose connection type, the console, copper straight through, crossover, fiber, phone, coax, serial DCE, serial and octal, USB and other stuff. Then as you can see, there are straight through in here, straight through copper, I think it is straight through. Then as you can see in here, it is a serial. Then in this third one is the blue one, the coax. So there are 3 different types of media connection that are used in this network topology. Then in step 2, explain the purpose of the devices. In packet tracer, only the server PT device can act as a server. Desktop or laptop PC cannot act as a server. Based on your study so far, explain the client server model. The client server model is somewhat like a peer-to-peer connection, because in a client server, the client can get information from the server or store or upload, download or anything else, and the server supports the client in order to produce a information from him or from the server that can be transferred to a computer. So that's my explanation for the client server model. Then list at least 2 functions of intermediary devices. 2 functions of intermediary devices is the one that somewhat connects the system or the end devices into the ISP in order for them to connect them, and the intermediary device is just somewhat like a thing that is in between the end devices and the ISP, because without the intermediary devices, you can connect to the ISP or the internet service provider. Then step 2, list at least 2 criteria for choosing a network media type. The first criteria is on how much speed can the connection will be, because we should think about the bandwidth of the internet, on how much speed can it produce, and the more the speed, the more the things we can do, and the more information for us to have. Then the second one would be the length, so that the length or the of the intermediary devices, and how can he reach, or if the environment or the environment can be suitable for it. So that's the two criteria for me for choosing the network media type. Then compare and contrast. Step 3, LANs and WANs. Explain difference between LANs and WANs. Give example for each. In LANs, or a local area network is just like in a computer shop, I think, because it is somewhat in peer-to-peer and it is all connected with each other. And while local area network is some for small groups, one is, or what, as you can see, we already know that one is a wide area network that can be in a wide area topology, or geographically used in wide areas. It is somewhat a wireless connections that are being connected with each other, and there are cons and pros of LANs and WANs. So WANs is somewhat given when WANs is used when ISP is providing internet for the other devices, and LANs are used in somewhat in our daily life, as you can see in some computer shop or something. In the packet tracer network, how many WANs do you see? In the packet tracer network, there would be WANs is somewhat 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think there would be 5 because 5, there would be 5 WANs because of the internet. for that Sorry for that, I'm not feeling well. And the internet, the blue one, the cokes, I think no, it would just be 4 because of the serial DCE. So there would be 5 or 4 ones that I see. Then how many LANs do you see? LANs are, I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I think it's 16, but in this topology, this one is a wireless, so it wouldn't be a LAN. So the LAN would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think it's 10 above or just 16. The internet in this packet tracer network is overly simplified and does not represent the structure and form of the real internet. Briefly describe the internet. The internet that is somewhat what we always do, or where the information are all coming from. The internet has a huge amount of contribution for us because the internet greatly expand our information, the things that we learn, because of the things that it store in their servers. And as you can see, the internet viewed all the things that it can, so that it can help us in order to grow. And the other things are it is mainly used for information and other stuff. The internet is somewhat the connectivity of each other, while the internet with letter I think it's somewhat it is somewhat connected to the World Wide Web, I think the WW. So what are some common ways a home user connects to the internet? Some common ways that the home user connects to the internet is through intermediary devices, which is through some intermediary devices and connections. First is the wireless in connections, or the UTP cable or the RJ45. Then with the intermediary devices like routers and wireless routers and other stuff, I think that is the most common way that the user connects to the internet. Then what are some common methods that business use to connect to the internet in your area? The most common way that the business connects, that the method that the business use to connect to the internet in your area, in my area, is somewhat using WAN and wireless, because ISP or internet service providers are somewhat always using WANs in order to produce or provide some internets in their clients. So I think it's probably the common method would be WAN or the wide area network, in order for us to connect to the internet. And there's the challenge, but these 3 steps are the only things that I should answer. That's all. Thank you for listening.